What's going on, guys? This is Waylon Martin with Bodybuilding.News. Today we are discussing the recent passing of IFBB professional bodybuilder Dallas McCarver. Dallas passed away this August at just 26 years of age. And until now, there were many questions. But just last week, on November 28th, Anthony Roberts with Medium.com published the autopsy reports. The documents, published by the Palm Beach County Medical Examiner, give us a very unique insight into the lengths that some IFBB pros are willing to go to compete at the highest level, as well as demonstrating some of the potential consequences of these decisions. At the time of his death, major media outlets such as TMZ and New York Daily News published that Dallas had passed away likely due to choking. This assumption is based off a 911 call made by a fellow IFBB professional bodybuilder, Josh Lorenowitz. Although Josh was an Australian native, he was in preparation for the Olympia contest, and as a result was staying in the United States with Dallas for a couple weeks leading up to the show. And so it would be Joshua that found Dallas laid out on the floor.
He's at home, he's cracked out on the ground, I've been trying to resuscitate him, he won't come back.
Is he breathing?
No, he's not at all. He's blue.
He's blue? Okay.
He's probably having insulin.
The autopsy was performed the day following Dallas's death. However, it was not released until a request was made by Anthony Roberts. According to the Examiner, choking didn't have an impact on Dallas's death. Rather, it was an unwitnessed cardiac event. Dallas was listed as having severe concentric left ventricle hypertrophy, as well as coronary artery arteriosclerosis, or blockage of passageways within the heart. Though understandable why Dallas's death could be confused with suffocation, the ultimate cause was the heart issues, which caused his body to stop functioning. It just so happened he was eating at that time, and so the food in his throat didn't get swallowed. The death is listed as natural. However, anabolic steroid use is noted as being a contributing factor. It was known that Dallas's family had a history of cardiac issues. In March, following his collapse at the Arnold, Australia, Dallas had an electrocardiogram done, the results from which were unusual and indicated he had the left ventricle issue. Steroids can have many effects, both positive and negative, and these effects often increase and decrease as the dosages do. While a typical male has a testosterone level somewhere between 250 and 1,000 on average, Dallas McCarver's at the time of his death was measured at 55,000. That means his levels were 55 times higher than the normal high-end male. If someone were to have a genetic condition that can predispose them to negative side effects of steroids, this would certainly be enough to trigger those. Combine this with high body weight, training, diet, HGH, insulin, it becomes taxing on the body. It manifests not only as enlarged muscles, but enlarged organs. A typical male heart weighs around 300 grams, but an athlete's is known to go up to around 500. Dallas's was above 830 grams. A typical male kidney weighs between 125 grams and 170 grams. Dallas's were 452 and 503 respectively, with noted hardening. And while a typical male liver weighs between 950 and 1,800 grams, Dallas's weighed almost 4,600 grams. Typical male lungs weigh between 400 to 450 grams. Both of Dallas's were over 600. Also of note, though not listed as a cause of death, was a thyroid carcinoma. This is a cancer which cells have been shown to specifically respond to HGH. The year leading up to Dallas's death was monumental for him, as he'd recently moved to Florida in pursuit of a bodybuilding sponsorship, finished second place at the Arnold just behind Cedric McMillan, and had sparked up a relationship with WWE superstar Dana Brooke. From the outside looking in, one could think that Dallas had everything going his direction. But below the surface was a lot of stress and damage left unaddressed. That's all for today, guys. This is Waylon Martin with Bodybuilding.News.